Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 2 of my Genie Plus with a Toddler series. Today we are talking all about Epcot. If you are brand new to Genie Plus, I did do a brief overview of Genie Plus in my part 1 Magic Kingdom video, so head over there first if you want to learn the basics. But today we are going to talk all things strategy with a toddler at Epcot. Before we dive in, I would love for you to stick around and hit that red subscribe button. That way you don't miss any more of my Disney planning videos and Disney trip vlogs. And go ahead and give this video a thumbs up as well if you're enjoying this Genie Plus with a Toddler series. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so you're gonna hear lots of people saying that Genie Plus at Epcot really isn't necessary, and I myself have actually said that in the past as well. But because what's included with Genie Plus has recently changed, it's causing me to change my mind a little bit. I don't know, I'm starting to feel more like Genie Plus with the Toddler at Epcot might make more sense than it did in the past. And of course, you know, everything can change with Genie Plus. I mean, I feel like things are always shifting, but as of right now, I do feel like Genie Plus at Epcot, specifically with a toddler, really makes sense and you really get your money's worth. So before I share the actual strategy at Epcot with a toddler and why I think it's worth your money, I do want to answer a couple of questions about things that I didn't touch on in my Magic Kingdom strategy video. One of those topics being rider swap. Because I've gotten a few questions on rider swap and what it is and how to utilize it, I thought Epcot would be a perfect park to share how it works. Rider swap is designed to be used with the standby line. So for example, let's say me and my husband really want to ride Test Track. We're not using Genie Plus, we plan on going through the standby line. So again, this is just an example, but we are going to approach the cast members at the Lightning Lane entrance and ask, are we able to use rider swap? And what they're gonna do is ask you, okay, which one of you wants to go on the ride first? So let's say my husband says he's gonna go first, I'm gonna wait back with our toddler. My husband is now going to go through the standby line and he's gonna wait the full standby wait time. And I then am gonna get a Lightning Lane scanned onto my Magic Band. And I can come back to use my Lightning Lane for Test Track at any point in the day. So let's say I wanna go as soon as my husband gets off the ride. So he waits the 60 minutes or however long the standby wait is, and then we switch. He waits with our toddler. Now I get to scan and go through the Lightning Lane. This is all without Genie Plus. Essentially, my husband waited for both of us, and it's as if we both waited in line. So that is how rider swap works. And the thing I wanted to clear up is that rider swap with Genie Plus is kind of irrelevant. So if my husband and I both had a Lightning Lane for Test Track, there would be no need for rider swap because we're both able to go through the Lightning Lane, if that makes sense. So you really don't even need to think about rider swap. You just have to decide who's gonna go first and who's gonna go second. So that's basically how rider swap works, and it's just really not needed with Genie Plus. All right, now let's move on to the actual strategy portion of the video. And I wanted to start with talking about rider swap because I do plan on getting on the virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind in my strategy. So this would be another scenario where we would just alternate who goes first and who goes second. But I wanted to start out with the rider swap conversation. That way we are on the same page talking about Cosmic Rewind. All right, so what I'm gonna do is at 6:45, I'm gonna set my alarm. I am up and ready to purchase Genie Plus for the day. That way I have a few extra minutes to get the virtual queue all set up on my phone, and I am ready to tap in at 6:59, ready to join that virtual queue at 7 a.m. So what I'm gonna do is just keep clicking refresh, refresh, refresh over and over and over until right at 7 a.m., maybe like 0.01 seconds before 7 a.m., it's gonna pop open and I'm gonna click join as fast as I can. And this strategy has worked well for me every time I have joined a virtual queue. I just basically click refresh over and over and over for a solid minute until it takes me through, and I usually get on a pretty early boarding group with this strategy. So right at 7 a.m., I've now joined the virtual queue for Cosmic Rewind. I have my boarding group number, and now immediately I'm gonna head over to the Lightning Lane selection, and I'm gonna go after Frozen Ever After. So that's gonna be the very first ride that I click on, and that and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure are gonna be the two rides that are gonna go the quickest. Personally, I'm gonna go for Frozen first, just because my toddler is a huge Frozen fan and I know that she's gonna love that one. So if for some reason we weren't able to do Remy's, I would be more disappointed about Frozen. So that's the only reason I'm gonna go for Frozen first. So now, right at 7:01, I have secured my Lightning Lane for Frozen Ever After, and let's say the time that I was able to get was right at 9 a.m. So in a perfect world, I'm able to scan in right at 9 a.m. for Frozen Ever After. So we are going to head to the park and head straight to Frozen. I'm gonna scan in for our very first ride, and as I'm walking onto Frozen, I am now gonna be searching for my next Lightning Lane. So like I mentioned in my Magic Kingdom Day strategy, I don't even wait till I'm off the ride to make my next Lightning Lane selection. I am searching for that next one as I'm walking onto that ride, as long as I've already scanned in. So the next ride I'm gonna go for right at 9 a.m. after I've scanned into Frozen is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. So at this point, because it's been a couple of hours since that Genie Plus window of Lightning Lane selections being open, now the time slots for Remy's are pretty far in the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and secure one for 4 p.m. So let's say that was the next soonest available for Remy's was 4 p.m. So now, in order to make my next Lightning Lane, I have to wait 120 minutes. So that's the rule. Either 120 minutes has to pass, or you scan into that next Lightning Lane. So in this instance, 120 minutes is going to come first. So at 11 a.m., I can then make my next Lightning Lane selection. So between that 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. window, there's actually a lot that I can do. So I'm either gonna use that as a snack break, go to the baby care center, I'm gonna head to the playground near Test Track, or I'm gonna go on a ride like Figment, where you don't necessarily need a Lightning Lane for that because the wait time stays under 10 minutes max all day long. So that's one that you really don't need a Lightning Lane for. You absolutely could skip that 5 to 10 minute wait with a Lightning Lane, but that's something that I feel like, you know, we could bring our toddler and wait 5 to 10 minutes for that ride. Another thing we're able to check off during that 9 to 11 a.m. window is Guardians of the Galaxy. So this is something where we're waiting for that next Lightning Lane window to come. We're able to join our boarding group and take turns riding Cosmic Rewind. So that's something else that we're able to do kind of in between Lightning Lanes. So let's assume that we were able to get on a morning boarding group, but that's another thing that we would be able to check off that morning. So it is now 11 a.m. and I'm able to make my next Lightning Lane, and I'm gonna go for Seas with Nemo and Friends. This is another one that usually has a pretty low wait time, but sometimes it can get up to 20, 30 minutes depending on the time of day. And even being able to skip a 20, 30 minute wait with a toddler is really nice. So at 11 a.m., I'm gonna snag the next Lightning Lane for Seas with Nemo and Friends at 11:30. So super nice when it works out that way, when you don't have to wait 2+ hours for your Lightning Lane to come around. So now we can pretty much just walk right onto the ride, and we're not having to spend a lot of time just killing time, you know what I mean? So now it's almost 12 o'clock. We're gonna go ahead and grab some lunch. I'm not worried about scrambling to make my next selection quite yet. We still have Remy's booked at 4 o'clock, but at this point, we're gonna grab some lunch and then head back to the room for nap time. And I touched on this in my Magic Kingdom Day video where we nap in the room. So that is what works best for my toddler. I know that some toddlers can just nap on the go, or they're not napping at all, but naps in the room is what works great for us. So we're not gonna be worried about making a Lightning Lane selection, you know, from that 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock window, because we're just gonna be relaxing back in the room. And during nap time, I'm just gonna casually scroll and see what's available for Epcot later on in the evening now that my next Lightning Lane window has come available. I'm really not in a hurry to, go, make the next thing. We did have a pretty full Epcot morning, but let's say during nap time, I went ahead and snagged a 3:30, for Turtle Talk with Crush. And that's another one that the wait time stays pretty low, but sometimes again, it can get up to 20-30 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and snag that for 3:30, and we're gonna head back to the park. And 3:30, we now have Turtle Talk with Crush, and we also have Remy's Ratatouille Adventure at 4 o'clock. And after we're done with Remy's, I'm feeling pretty good about our Epcot day ride-wise. So we were able to do Remy's, Frozen Ever After, Turtle Talk with Crush, and Seas with Nemo and Friends. So 4 different rides with Genie Plus, and if we wanted to continue, we could do Spaceship Earth. After we scan on to Remy's, we could do Soarin'. That would be something we would just take turns scanning into the lightning lane for. So those are rides that I would play by ear, but when it comes to rides with our toddler, again, I'm feeling pretty good about what we were able to accomplish. And again, this is something else I mentioned in my Magic Kingdom Part 1 video, but I'll say it again here because I stand by this. I'm not measuring the value of Genie Plus by how many things we were able to do. I'm measuring the value of Genie Plus by how much time we saved by not waiting in line. So let's say Remy's was an 80-minute wait and Frozen Ever After was a 120-minute wait. I mean, those 2 rides alone saved us our entire morning of just waiting in line. Another thing I'll add is that if we somehow weren't able to get onto the virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, we do have a second chance at 1 p.m. to try again to get on the virtual queue. But if, again, for some reason that time didn't work out as well, we also have the option to purchase a lightning lane, and this is referred to as an individual lightning lane attraction. So you actually do not have to purchase Genie Plus to purchase a lightning lane at Cosmic Rewind. I hope that makes sense. The cost can range between $14 and $17. So you can really decide if you want to just do that ride alone and not even mess with the virtual queue. You can guarantee your lightning lane slot by purchasing your lightning lane, or you can do Genie Plus and guarantee your time slot at Cosmic Rewind by purchasing both. Or you can just do Genie Plus and go for the virtual queue and try not to spend any additional money. So there's a few different ways to go about it, but those are some options when it comes to getting onto the individual lightning lane for really any of the parks. Each park currently, at the time of filming this, they each have one individual lightning lane attraction, and at Epcot, it's Cosmic Rewind. So I wanted to provide a few different options in case you weren't able to get onto the virtual queue. You can purchase your lightning lane, or you can try again at 1 p.m. So those are your options, but I wanted to present that as well. So that is my strategy for utilizing Genie Plus with a toddler at Epcot. I hope this was helpful, hearing another hour-by-hour real-life example of how I personally would utilize Genie Plus with our toddler on an Epcot day. And again, surprisingly, I feel like Epcot has become more worth it when it comes to purchasing Genie Plus. So I might start recommending that Genie Plus is a must at Epcot. I don't know. It really does come down to Frozen Ever After and Remy's. Again, just because those 2 rides are so popular, you're purchasing a $15 a day Genie Plus add-on to be able to experience those 2 attractions. And to me, I think that's worth it. If you can avoid a 2+ hour wait at each ride with a toddler, I'm all about that. So thank you guys again for watching, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found this helpful, and make sure that you are subscribed so that you can catch the rest of my Genie Plus with a Toddler Park series videos. So I would love for you to stick around. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.